It's now 13 minutes to 7. The Catholic Church has been criticised over the years for its attitude towards gay rights, and it's now being attacked for its approach to transgender issues. Earlier this month, Pope Francis criticised what he called the ideology of a gender, where children were taught in school that everyone can choose his or her sex. And so, again, a prominent social issue is testing the role of the Church, as Matthew D'Ancona reports.
È un problema di morale. È un problema umano.
Pope Francis describing the issue of transgenderism as a moral problem, a human problem. And so it is, both for the Catholic Church and the LGBT community, as a centuries-old institution that claims 1.2 billion adherents worldwide confronts once again a changing social landscape. How should an ancient faith respond to the new world of gender fluidity and transitioning? Should it adapt, resist, or try something in between? The latest flashpoint is the cancellation by CAFOD, the International Catholic Aid Agency, of a lecture due to be given this month by James Martin. This New York Jesuit argues in his thoughtful book, Building a Bridge, that the Catholic Church and LGBT advocates must engage with one another in a spirit of compassion and sensitivity. But not everybody shares Father Martin's perspective or his conviction that a reconciliation between the two is possible. His critics insist that the Bible and the Catechism, effectively the Catholic rulebook, make it impossible for the Church to accept that gender is a social construct rather than a God-given characteristic. CAFOD, which declined my interview request for this piece, has said that the cancellation reflected scheduling issues and that Martin's speech will go ahead in the new year. But this is only the latest of his talks to be called off since his book was published. Both the Catholic University of America in Washington, D.C., and the Order of the Holy Sepulchre in New York have recently cancelled speeches by the controversial priest. I asked Father Martin why this was happening.
A lot of these, what I call Catholic alt-right groups, exert these, campaigns of personal vilification and smears and attacks, in this case on me, that leads other people to think that I'm a heretic, that I'm a terrible Catholic, that I'm a bad priest, and that leads to the cancellation of these events. And so they have set themselves up as a kind of parallel authority to the legitimate authority of bishops and religious superiors who actually do have the ability to pronounce on those things. All I'm calling for in the book, at this point in time for the transgender community is that respect, compassion, and sensitivity.
But for many conservative Catholics, Christian compassion towards transgender people should not entail what they see as moral surrender or a betrayal of basic Christian rules about the integrity of the body and the divine origin of human identity. Here's the Catholic writer Carolyn Farrow.
There's this compassion that we have for people with gender dysphoria, but at the same time, we need to be very careful about not claiming that God made some sort of mistake in his creation, or that actually gender reassignment can fundamentally change the truths about who we are.
The secular world faces its own struggle in adapting to gender fluidity. For religious institutions, the challenge is even greater: how to evolve without blurring their boundaries and rules into meaninglessness. In that sense, the debate within the Catholic Church about transgenderism is a microcosm of modernity's greatest dilemma. When does pluralism slide into relativism? When does compassionate evolution become a betrayal of core principles? This is much more, in other words, than an abstract argument within a particular Christian denomination. This tale of a lone priest may yet be a parable for us all.
Matthew D'Ancona reporting there. It's coming up to 9 minutes.